Welcome to the Reporters Square Table presented by Lending Tree. The Hornets are in the Gatorade grind camp. It's begun, and joining us now to talk about it are Sam Perley from Hornets.com, as well as deep inside the bubble. These guys are rooted inside there, and we've turned them into reporters for this alone. That's how we're going to validate this. We've got assistant coach Jay Hernandez with us, as well as director of basketball communications, Brian Travis. Welcome, gentlemen. Really excited to have you guys. So now let's just get started right away. I wanted to start talking about this. What has it been like for you guys to actually see not only each other, but for the guys to see each other, you guys to see each other, all of that interaction? How good is that, Ben? We'll start with you, Jay.
It's been phenomenal. Obviously, from a coaching standpoint, we've only been able to do one-on-one workouts this whole time. So to be able to have multiple guys in the gym at once, playing pickup basketball, just kind of taking it back a little bit to kind of more normal times, for us it's been great. And the energy, you can feel it, it's something I think that, translates well throughout, social media and everything else like that, because you can really sense that guys are excited to be back in the gym, just playing basketball and just having fun. Obviously the setup here is amazing. And I think we probably have the best setup in the NBA here. So we're trying to do a lot together. And when you have that ability to connect again like this after a long time off, it's always exciting.
Brian, what's it been like for you to see these guys off the court together?
Yeah, no, I think it's been interesting. It's funny because we're obviously on a Zoom call now, but it's just been so interesting to go from seeing guys in Zoom calls and then like maybe occasionally you see a guy from afar. We drop off a flash drive for Cody Martin to play Fortnite with y'all and stuff like that. But now to go from seeing guys one-on-one occasionally, or seeing guys on screen, to seeing everybody all at the same time, all in person, it was definitely a shift at the beginning of the week. But now I feel like several days into it, just kind of feels like we're back in it, and it feels normal and it feels good for the most part. So it's been good to see everybody.
Coach, you talked about sort of the uniqueness of this is the basketball element. There's nowhere else to go. These guys are kind of stuck where they are in this camp for a couple of weeks. How much does that benefit that extra time being together away from basketball after not being together for 6 months?
Yeah, again, it's just continuing to build on the chemistry we've already had, together. And I think, being able to play ping pong and, shoot some pool, go golfing, all those kinds of things that are accessible to all of us. It keeps everything light and fun, and you get to know guys in a different level, and just see, what they're about, what they're into. And, everybody's kind of experiencing some new things here. And that's been the coolest thing to see is just, I know you had the footage of Terry, doing a round of golf and, guys attempting to play tennis and stuff like that. So it's been really cool just to engage with those guys, watch games together, and just have that time. I just think at the end of the day, we spend so much time trying to win games and trying to develop talent and players that, the most important part is the human element and that interaction.
And Brian, you see these guys, you travel with the team regularly in a normal setting in the regular season. You see the guys interacting throughout the regular season and kind of the, eyes and ears inside. How does that situation compare to this? Is this different in the sense that, from your perspective, that this close proximity is rubbing off on the court and seeing the energy and enthusiasm through this first 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. There is, even though we're together on the road sometimes, there is just something like a little bit different that feels a little bit different about being in the here and right now. And maybe it's just because we are in such close proximity when we get back from the workouts. But I think when we're on the road, at least for me personally, I don't see them other than at the gym. And now to the point that Jay brought up, you see guys out on the golf course together, getting the mix of some ping pong and after dinner last night and the last couple nights. And I think you just see guys in a different light. I'm sure everyone talked a lot about the Terry Cody ping pong challenge, but there's no question in my mind Cody Zeller will have him. He's the best ping pong player I've ever seen. So it's just, I think you see guys more personally as you mentioned, and then that excitement and fun that everyone's having as best as I can tell has carried over to our workouts. There's a lot of fun. People are playing music. It's been a lot of fun. It's been high energy compared to like just the individual workouts, like Jay said.
All three of you guys have talked about that energy that you've noticed in camp from the team, as well as things going on off the court, staff off the court, even guys getting after all the content we've been producing. For you guys, how important is it? We'll start with you, Coach, how important is it for you guys to maintain this energy that's kind of come in to start with throughout this camp? Because it is a little bit longer of a time to keep this up.
Yeah, I think for us, we're trying to be a little bit more hands-off with, trying to structure too much. We want to give a little bit of structure, but then let the players run with it. And so it's just kind of designing certain days based on feel more so than just having something set for each day saying we're going to do this every day. We're kind of feeling out how the guys are feeling. We want to make things competitive because through the competition, different types of competition, whether it's shooting or playing one-on-one, doing 4-on-4, things like that, being able to make it competitive for these guys and let them see their overall wins for the day, I think is good for them. We have a bunch of guys who are super competitive that love to play basketball. So by doing that, I think we'll be able to figure out this thing as we keep going. And I think that's the best part about it is very fluid.
Now, I know Brian loves me and all the requests we make, but obviously this team has been going crazy in camp and getting a ton of great coverage. And the guys have had that energy up too, and we've seen it in our content, what these guys are producing. How important do you think it's going to be for you guys behind the scenes to keep that energy going? Because we know we make you guys work a lot of 16-hour days sometimes. We apologize.
We're good to go. I think like the guys are – I think your guys that are capturing content kind of feed off of the guys' energy that you talked about as well. And I think just seeing so many different sides, like some of the mic'd up features that we have going on and some of the stuff that we're doing in the studio. And it's just – I think it's just fun, and it's easy to keep the energy up when we get to do some stuff in person after. I think we've been trying to make so much stuff work over Zoom calls for the last 6 months that it's just been so easy this week to kind of be back and doing it the way we used to do things. So.
All right, I'll tell you what, folks. Brian and Travis brings the energy himself.
Yeah.
Coach Hernandez knows that. Sam Perley knows that. It's great, but for us, Brian, just tell the fans out there a little bit about what you do, and what kind of energy you have to bring to this and the things that you get to accomplish for us inside the bubble.
Yeah, I think, I appreciate you recognizing I am clearly notorious for my energy. I think I just try to bring, I don't know if I try to bring energy, but just try to bring some structure and direction for all of us because we have so many different things going on a daily basis. We've been knocking out some different things before camp and then get there and we have different features going on throughout the day and you're three members of your crew capturing different things all the time and then we get back to studio and that's when the work really begins, when the workout ends for all of us. So I don't know that it's energy that I bring, but hopefully a little bit of structure and organization for everything we're trying to get done.
All right, I'm going to flip the script a little bit. Sam's going to ask Coach some basketball questions next. I'm going to ask Coach because I want to follow up on something you said. Are you playing any tennis? Are you playing any golf? Are you bringing that energy? And are you whooping people out there? Or are you staying away from guys like Cody Zeller?
We're not going to talk about Jay's tennis game.
Well, I was able to get out there with my man Brian, so that was fun. We've been trying to get together for a while. And so we got out there the other day. In a little bit, I have Coach Nate, Coach Dutch, and Coach Ron. We're going to play some doubles. So it's been really good to get out there and mix it up. Cody Zeller, I'm trying to get on the tennis court. I heard he's just as good at tennis as he is at ping pong. So, 7-footer that can play the net is going to be pretty difficult to handle. But I've been enjoying it. I'm going to try to get these guys to hit some mitts and do some boxing, one of these days as well. Since the weather's not so great outside, we'll probably do some stuff inside. So, just looking forward to getting it all in while I'm here for sure. But I'm not going to say that I beat anybody or anything like that. I'm having a good time. Let's just put
We're trying to get him to talk smack and he won't do it. I love it.
Coach, I know it's only been a couple days coming off of 6 months of no team activities. Have you noticed any sort of progression these few days in terms of it? I think JB kind of mentioned the main goal of this right now is just kind of getting reacclimated and getting back together and less incorporating new things. Have you seen progression these last couple days?
Yeah, for us, it's just been really cool to see when we leave them alone that, some of the habits that we were instilling, especially last month of the season when you saw the type of basketball that we're playing, it's there. They're taking, the guys that we have incorporated from our G League team as well. Everybody's in sync with how we want to play. That's the style of play. Guys are talking, guys are communicating, and playing really hard. So I think that's what it comes down to. When guys enjoy what they're doing, energy is sustainable. When guys are just doing it just for the sake of, hey, coach is telling us to do it, then it's not sustainable. So I think we have it coming from within, and it's been really cool to see that aspect of basketball from our guys, where we see that they're actually doing everything that we've talked about for the last 2 years, and that goes into what we call the continuity bump. It's like when guys are used to playing for a certain style, certain coach, they start to figure it out, and then they can start showing us things like, hey, maybe we should include that as well. So it's been really good to be a part of that.
You mentioned some of the habits. You talked about the habits you were instilling last year and now kind of showing up. How cool is that to see after 6 months off? And I know you want to be working with the team regularly in team workouts throughout the summer, but to see guys make jumps maybe on their own, working out on their own if they went home and they come back to this and you're like, okay, this guy looks different. He's bigger. He's doing something different. Is that cool as a coaching staff to see? It's kind of maybe a little bit of a benefit to, or shows that they're taking the initiative away from all this time off.
Yeah, and then that's the most important thing, right? If you're working on a habit and you have them for a few days out of the week, and then the rest of the time they're doing whatever they want to do, you're only going to get so good. So you really need to, dictate, this is what we're looking for. And then if they go home and they're working out with a trainer or whatever the case may be, watching film, and they come back, now we can layer it and do more. And that's what we've been able to see at this point. Like we're able to do more now because they have that understanding. It's less thinking going on and more about feeling, what they need to do out there. And they're telling us what they see. So the level of communication back and forth has been really good. And I think when you have that, is that when you see the biggest gains. And so, for us, we've tried our best to stay involved with them, whether it's, giving them workouts, talking about, meal plans and things like that. Our strength and conditioning staff, athletic training, has done a phenomenal job with staying connected with these guys. Being able to shoot out different sorters and film for these guys to watch. They've taken every little bit of it seriously, and they basically built into those details, what they need to do, with their own workout. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, these 2 weeks, even though it is a short period of time, it's a great period of time knowing that we've had so much time apart. As these guys have got in and you've seen what they've done and they've continued to build, how important is that going to be when camp ends to maintain that energy and really continue to put the onus on them when we can't get together as a group, Coach?
Yeah, and that's where again, from an individual standpoint, you see guys really improve in an off season. And we're going to have the longest off season we've ever had. So the expectation for all of us is to get better. Coaches need to get better, players need to get better. And if we all have that in mind, when we come back together, with everybody improving, now it's like, okay, what do you have? This is what I have. And then you can start to go, to different levels from there. So I think it's something that we really feel strongly about. Our management team has done a great job of vetting the type of people, right? It's obviously players at this level, everybody's really talented, but the type of people, in regards to people who want to listen, who want to improve, who want to get better, on a daily basis, we have that here. And so I feel confident that when they come back, we'll be able to get right to it.
All right, we've made Brian wait long enough. Sometimes we got to make him wait.
Yeah.
Coaches are a little more important sometimes. We just got to make sure we let them get their stuff in there. Brian, for you though, the way we're doing things and the way we're connecting our fans to our team, we're finding different ways to do that. I'm sitting here thinking, because I know you love it, I've already got another idea what Cody can't do. We need to figure out some challenges of what Cody Zeller can't do, apparently, because of
racket sports, home improvement. He does it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. So for you, what do you think we have to do to continue this momentum that we're building and make sure we're connecting our fans?
Yeah, I think, hopefully with the Hornets.com crew that you kind of have in the bubble here with us as well, I just think that we've just had the opportunity to see guys' personality off the court back here at the lodge that we talk about, but also like seeing guys' personality come out on the practice floor and having the opportunity to see that firsthand. So I just hope that we're able to carry that level of connectivity into the next season, to continue to see that here on the road, around the facility, those types of things as well. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Thank you guys both very much for taking time out of your days inside the bubble. We're going to let you get back to it now and get going, and as we continue to cover things here on Hornets.com. So this has been the Reporters Square Table presented by Lending Tree. For Sam, for Coach Hernandez, and for Brian, I'm Matt Roczynski.